Hello kids, this video is for students that need some guidance in working questions like number 8, number 9, and number 10 on this word problem practice, okay? Now, the problem that I'm going to work is not exactly like any of those problems, but it is similar to them. All right, so here's the problem that I am going to work. Remember that you can pause this video, you can rewatch parts of it to help guide you as you are working your actual problems that have been assigned. This one says, Andy spends $60 of his allowance on books to read at night. This is 15% of his total allowance. How much is his total allowance? So normally when we have been working with percentages, we've had the total, right? We've had the total, and we have had to multiply that by our percent that has been changed into a decimal. So in this case, if we were changing 15% into a decimal, that would be 0.15 or 15 hundredths. So normally we would take the total allowance, we would multiply it by our changed percent decimal, and that would give us our answer. This time though, we know what 15% of the total is. We know that it's $60. Okay, so this time I'm really going to kind of work backwards because this is what I need to know. I already know that $60 is 15% of his allowance. I've got to find the total allowance. So in a problem like this, I've got to find what the total is. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to divide 15 hundredths by 15 hundredths. Now, anything divided by itself is what? It's 1. So that changes this to 1. So it would now be our total times 1 is going to be equal to, and here's what you have to remember. If I do something to one side of the equation, in this case, I divided by 15 hundredths, you have to do it to the other side of the equation. So I would also want to divide this side, 60, by 15 hundredths, okay? And for this, I don't mind if you want to use a calculator, but make sure you're writing down the process that you used. So when I bring my calculator into it, okay, and I say 60 divided by 0.15, that gives me 400. So this divided by this is 400, okay? And so now if we think about what we've done, and if we think about this equation here, I have my total times 1 is going to equal 400 because that's what this was. And so anything times 1 is going to be itself. So what is the total amount of allowance here, kids? His total amount is 400. Okay, $400 is his total amount. So remember that you can rewatch this, you can stop it, and if you have questions, of course, let me know.